bit of advice on this sewing of Inaya's dress. There's very little that we're doing it quite differently. I'm adding this beaded piping. So I've changed the foot to a zip foot. I'm going to add this. It's a ready-made trimmed off beaded type of a lace, which I'm going to be trimming the hem off with, and I've also done it around the neckline. So this is going to be like a line dress, and for the amount of times that she wears these clothes, you know, they're like fast wearing clothes. So I've just used a zipper foot to attach this lace right to the end of the neckline, and also on the roundness. This is the top side of the dress, is the net part. And basically I've pointed the bead side towards the dress portion, and the raw unselvaged edge I've just done a seam sort of close to the seam of the lace, the ribbon edging. Okay, so once I've initially attached it, and then I'm going to do the same, because all I want to do is I don't want to add any other material to it. I just want to finish it off on the actual dress. Now what we'll do with the dress is I'm going to put this on the wrong side down, and then basically just put this the right side, I want it facing wrong side facing up, right side facing down, and then I'm just going to place this on top of that, similar edging to what the lace is, and I'm just going to sew around. So we're doing a seam on top of the initial seam. Once I get to the edge, take a pause there and leave the needle down and twist the fabric around, then sew downwards up to the point of where I've already sort of like put a cut mark, but it'll go a little bit below the cut mark up to the point of the notch that we made in the V, and then turn that around, twist the whole of that fabric sort of towards the inside. Now initially it will slightly catch on the bead, but the machine will slightly shudder because it's a raised area. But it can, even though it will slightly jump, but you can still easily do that. So get to the round point, twist the fabric around where the circle roundness is. Now once you've taken that to the edge, you need to notch it, and once it's notched all the way around, we'll turn the right side in out, and all the raw unsalvaged edges will end up being, you know, you can use additional fabric, but the reason why I tend to use this kind of method, it's not the most what do you call it, it's a time-saving method. It's not the most cleanest or the neatest of methods. If I was sewing this for an adult, then I would use a slightly different method. But like I mentioned, one of the reasons why we use an easy method is with children. You know, you can take shortcuts with children because they're not fussy customers. They are your easiest customers to keep happy. And they soon grow out of the clothes that you make for them. They get very limited wear out of the clothes. So I'm not overly fussy about having it absolutely perfect in her case. It's a slightly different case when you are sewing for a paid customer, where they would insist on everything being, you know, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna notch this in a couple of places. Because this is like a round circle, the fabric will not sit unless it's notched. Now we're just gonna turn this inside out, and when we turn this inside out, the silky side will come towards the inner side, and then we just need to basically press all this. And if you want, you can top seam this. Like this area you will have to notch it so that it sits properly. So if we turn on the inside, we need to notch this lacy bit as well. Perhaps notch it in just a couple of places, just to make sure that this area, when you turn it over right side, it just sits. So I'm going to press this now, and then once I've pressed it, I'm going to seam over it just to keep this, just to sit it down. Okay, and that basically is going to be the finishing of the neckline. So then I'm just going to join it at the shoulders, add the sleeves, and then hopefully I will need to change the foot for the general sewing, but coming back to the hemline, I will change the foot again and use the same lace on all around the hemline portions.